of people will think of themselves personally and like what type of drugs or whatever or the substance has most affected their family. So like for me, it's the hard drugs and it's the alcohol and stuff like that. But like for some other families, when you're talking substance abuse, well, it may be the sniffing and the chroming.
The majority of suicides in young people happen due to having taken some sort of drugs or alcohol before it actually happened. And what they normally wouldn't have the courage to do because of the drug use, it gives them that empowerment and they have the strength to go through something they wouldn't normally do.
I've worked in communities where petrol sniffing was knocked out by introducing low aromatic fuel and just not having it available. It made a huge difference. And why this is important is you need to make a break in behaviour, you need to be able to remove the intoxicant so that the kids have got a chance to be straight before you can even begin to have a conversation.
And just got to the point where I just would hate going home. Just wouldn't want. I would do any other excuse just to not go home. Like at school, I try to stay at school longer, but the teachers, they just get nosy in that. And like if something went wrong at home, they just want to get child services involved, and that's just too messy. So then I just wouldn't go to class, wouldn't talk to people. Just easier, because it just causes trouble for everyone.
Most families understand the traditional addictions, and that things like alcohol use, Yandi, cigarettes, what that looks like, how to respond to it, and feel that they have coping skills that can address those issues within a family.
It could be a new situation for people, so it's something they've never had to deal with. So how do you cope with that, or how do you support people when you haven't dealt with that sort of situation before? There might be someone going off, or someone coming down from the drug, or those kind of things. So or supporting someone going through withdrawal symptoms.
I've come across all your different social issues. So where there's crime, abuse, domestic violence, all of this because of a substance misuse or abuse. Yeah, and how it's affected like myself and my family is we've dealt with suicide because some people couldn't handle it to their addiction. We've dealt with family being incarcerated.
You've got to understand the real issues and where people are coming from. Then we might have a chance.
Like for little kids, they don't know what's going on, so they get scared. And the parents, they go all out crazy and think that something's wrong and then try to help, and then something really bad goes wrong.
They don't know who they are. You can ask the children what tribes they come, what's this? And it means nothing to them because they don't know. So the children that really know who they are, they don't end up like these kids. We don't have anybody in the town to really take our children back to country where they belong and walk the talk with them, We got to go to the LORE, not the LAW, because the LORE will tell us and show us who we are. Because while we're on land, we have our spirits guiding us. But while we're here in town, we have nobody. We just have the ice, the drugs, the alcohol, and that'll just take us.
Ended up getting reported to child services one time, and they were just going to take me away from everything, and they asked me, if it's that bad, we'll just take you to, I think it's at a safe house where they just there and no one comes see you. And I just thought, why, how would that make it better? That's not going to change anything. There's nothing. What was that going to do? Put me by myself, make me get crazy.
The parents have to be supported and go through certain training to understand the situation we're in, where there's drugs all around, there's all sorts of temptations. And, sure, kids are going to try and and have a go at this or have a go at that, but if they've got a solid foundation where there's a good home, parents who really care, and I'm sure there are parents out there who really care, it's just they don't have the tools to be able to support the children better.
Really it comes down to the right support surrounding families and there for families. And what does that look like? I think it's having people available to listen, to have the skills and experience to work successfully with families and users around how they might minimise harm to themselves and to their family members.
Why don't we have a safe home here where we can be working with those kids, doing something with them, getting them back to country, taking the parents with them and do things with the parents so the parents got a good understanding of their children too. Because what you're doing then, you're building both together, you're fixing both together. That kid's going to come back and love mum and dad more, you know, because if they're doing things together today, we're not doing it. I don't want mum to come, I don't want dad to come because they're 6 foot tall and bulletproof. But if we take mum and dad and build them as a family, because that kid still, we fix that kid, he's still going to go back home. Mum and dad's not fixed, ready for him. So we need mum and dad ready for them when they're ready too.
They isolate this person, they're going to fix them, but they leave the rest of the family out. So mum, dad, uncle, aunt, all the significant others have no idea what's going on. So we're building these people up with this knowledge about what's happening to their body, to their mind, to their souls. But then when they go home, they're going straight back into the same place.
What doesn't work is we're too top heavy clinically. I feel it's really important to acknowledge that, you know, we've got too many workers in that space of acute care and clinical care, and we need more community workers. We need soldiers on the ground.
Because it's most likely to happen at night time than daytime.
There's even a night patrol or something, using some of the kids' parents so they know what they can see what their children are doing. A lot of our great-grandparents out there don't know what ICE is. Well, I don't know what ICE is. I heard it, I don't know what it looked like, I haven't seen it. And I don't like the sound of it because, well, one year here we had about, 30 kids hang themselves. You know, so, and we're not getting to those children. We're not even getting to those kids' mums and dads. You know, they're still left behind here.
Don't institutionalise them, don't send them down to get them back out on country where they can connect, because there's two things that are very important to Aboriginal people overall, and our youth wouldn't be no different. Identity and connection. Who they are, where they come from, what they connect with.
We've sent many young people away from our community to drug and alcohol rehabilitation services. They last, 2 or 3 days maximum, and they choose not to want to engage. So they abscond, or we can't find them, or they come back into our community, So we really need a space here that we can work with them as community and wrap around the family supports for them, And we really do need a rehabilitation service that's culturally appropriate, that's out in the sticks, and that's, all about getting them involved in that and getting their families involved in that, and having those hard yarns and being able to provide an opportunity and space that when the person's ready, reintegrate them back into family space. But monitor that and support that and make sure that everyone's going well and have those really good, robust conversations. And how are you going? Well, these are the things that we've found from feedback from your family, feedback from you. How can we support you further in that space, Until we come to a point in our journey with this young person or family to know that they're on their 2 feet. They're now right to go.